Okay? So think about it. You are working with very complex people in a very complex environment. Things are constantly changing, right? So, and you're working with people that come with different strengths and different weaknesses, right? And you're reacting to the moment. So all of the, and you're doing it to help further our human, and just life in general, and pursuit of knowledge and things like that. And it's the same for both. For me, so everything that you guys have and do, that would serve you well as an astronaut. Okay, a couple of differences. One is, one of the things that the astronauts really need to have is what we call operational experience. And I did not have a lot of that, but that's where scuba diving, flying airplanes, being able to tear computers apart, put them back together, fixing your car, building things, that kind of stuff is operational experience. So, for example, the folks on the International Space Station are spending a lot of time repairing things and troubleshooting things. So that's what we need, the operational experience. That's why I think half of the astronaut corps is military. The military is all operational. That's how they're all trained. And that teamwork is really important too. I think sometimes in teaching we don't, I think we're better now, but I think sometimes we didn't, at least early in my teaching, we weren't as good at teamwork. I remember people would say, no, I'm not sharing with you because then the kids will have already done it. If I was teaching third grade, they were teaching fourth grade. Rather than thinking, wow, if I learn from you and share with you, it's going to be even better, when the kids get to me, because then I'll be able to take it up to the next level. But I do think we're getting much better about sharing and being good team players as teachers. Teamwork is absolutely critical on orbit in everything that we do. The other difference is, and this was the hardest lesson for me, in the classroom, at least working with little kids, we were always saying whoops. There were always whoopses, right? Well, when I'm training with my crew, finally, and I think it was my commander, Scott Kelly, I can't remember who it was, says, Barb, you cannot say whoops. That does not instill any confidence in your crew. So that was hard. The other thing that was hard was you always have to fly ahead of the plane. That's what pilots do. You always have to be ahead of the plane. So in the classroom, real time, we're always thinking about what just happened and how can I take care of that right now and make it better. And sometimes when you're doing that, things are kind of falling apart elsewhere, but you're taking care of that particular thing. And it just seems like that's happening all the time in the classroom. You can't do that if you're flying airplanes or if you're flying in space, because you always have to be ahead. So for me, it was a real hard lesson to learn. Something just happened, let it go. Don't even think about it. Just get on to what you need to be doing next. You can come back later and analyze it. But you can't do the analyzing in real time, because then everything's going to fall apart. So that was really hard. It was also really hard to learn not to say oops and then not to apologize for everything that I was doing wrong.